Black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Maher is back at it, tearing apart woke rhetoric like it's his personal mission. And this time, he set his sights on Whoopi Goldberg. Let's face it, Goldberg's been racking up controversial moments since 2022, and Maher wasn't about to let the latest one slide. But this wasn't just a casual critique, it was a full-on verbal demolition. He didn't hold back, dismantling her arguments with surgical precision and signature sarcasm, leaving Whoopi scrambling like a cartoon character dodging disaster. So what exactly did Whoopi say to spark Maher's blistering response? And how did his sharp retort manage to silence even the loudest voices on the woke side of the aisle? Stay tuned, because this isn't your average celebrity feud. It's a wild, no-holds-barred ride through the front lines of the culture war.
We have got to get past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. The right response to speech you don't like is more speech.
Whoopi Goldberg just took a swing, and now she's catching the full force of the backlash. And let's be real, it's not a good look. If you caught our last video, you'll remember Bill Maher handing Sunny Hostin a verbal beatdown for twisting his words. Well, apparently, the View crew didn't take that public roasting too well. Enter Whoopi, stepping into the ring like a one-woman wrecking crew, clearly on a mission to clap back. Word is, Sunny couldn't handle Maher's heat, so she brought in backup. But Whoopi didn't just join the fray. She came in loud, proud, and ready to throw down like a reality TV wildcard nobody invited.
Black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Let's take down Lincoln statues. That's peak Whoopi Goldberg, flipping through the woke rulebook like it's gospel. When the argument starts sinking like the Titanic, her go-to move. Build a straw man and start swinging blindly. Bill Maher, on the other hand, was making a clear, grounded point. Black Americans are demanding better jobs, economic opportunity, and smarter, more accountable policing. Straightforward, right? Then Whoopi jumps in, rambling about electing a former prosecutor with blue-collar plans. Does it connect? Not even a little. The logic isn't just shaky. It never existed. It's like she's tossing darts in the dark, hoping something sticks. Spoiler alert, nothing does. And Maher? He wasn't about to let that nonsense go unchecked.
Tear down statues of Lincoln and get rid of the police. Just, no. It's not that I've gotten old, it's that your ideas are stupid.
Bill Maher didn't mince words. He straight up called Whoopi Goldberg's commentary nonsensical. And honestly, that's pretty on brand for The View these days. The show has morphed into the political talk show equivalent of a slow-motion train wreck. Uncomfortable to witness, yet strangely impossible to look away from. Sure, it's long thrived on controversy and hot takes, but lately, Sunny Hostin and Whoopi have taken things to absurd new heights, dropping sound bites so wild, they leave viewers wondering if it's satire. Remember when Charlemagne the God showed up as a guest? His expression said it all, like he'd stumbled into a parallel universe where logic went out the window and chaos took the mic.
Criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time and, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now.
And just like that, Whoopi Goldberg delivers another eye-roll-worthy moment, adding to her growing highlight reel of head-scratchers. This time, she actually defended President Biden's claim that no one is above the law. Seriously, Whoopi. That line might have sounded noble on paper, but there's a mountain of receipts, video clips, audio bites, maybe even ancient cave carvings that show otherwise. Facts don't vanish just because they're inconvenient.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You
his
really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all
No,
of a sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
Charlemagne, the god, was left completely speechless, and honestly, who could blame him? Watching Whoopi Goldberg double down on a blatant falsehood is like hearing someone insist the sky isn't blue, while standing under a cloudless afternoon. At this point, her mental gymnastics are Olympic level, though let's be real, she'd still probably trip over her own logic. You could see it all over Charlemagne's face, pure disbelief as Whoopi just kept talking. But then came the kicker. She actually suggested that Biden didn't lie, he just changed his mind because he was sick and tired of everyone getting over on him. That's when the silence hit, not from awkwardness, but from sheer awe at a spin so wild it practically defied the laws of physics.
The nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law.
Here's the real issue with the woke crowd. They only sound the alarm when the so-called wrongdoer isn't one of their own. But when the controversy involves someone from their inner circle, suddenly the outrage disappears, replaced by hushed justifications and a serious case of selective memory. Naturally, Whoopi and her crew skated by with their usual antics. After all, it was Charlemagne in the hot seat, not someone who'd push back. But once Bill Maher caught wind of the absurdity, the game changed fast. It was like he said, "Hold my beer," before delivering one of the most precise and devastating takedowns we've seen in a long time.
So I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that
You're
go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. They don't have to do that.
Bill Maher nailed it. The so-called woke mob loves to posture as truth-tellers and moral arbiters. But their double standards were on full, glaring display this time around. Take Hunter Biden, for example. The evidence? Overwhelming. The outcome? A slap on the wrist, if that. Why? Because his father holds the highest office in the land. If this were anyone else, the outrage would be deafening. The mob would be out for blood, demanding accountability in the harshest terms. But when it's one of their own, suddenly, the outrage fades and justice takes a backseat to political loyalty. It's not just hypocrisy, it's hypocrisy laid bare. Maher didn't just criticize it. He exposed it for what it is, a rigged game where the rules only apply to the unapproved. His takedown wasn't just sharp. It was a warning shot to anyone still convinced the system plays fair, and here's the kicker. Maher didn't stop at the woke crowd. He called out the mainstream media too, pointing out how they often serve as enablers, running interference, spinning narratives, and shielding their ideological allies from scrutiny. The real question now, how much longer will Americans put up with this selective justice? Because this isn't just about Hunter Biden. It's about a system that protects the powerful while punishing the rest.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit.
In knots trying to downplay the Hunter Biden scandal, working overtime to shield President Biden and derail Trump's re-election bid. Major outlets brushed aside mounting evidence, lazily branding it all Russian disinformation, while actively silencing anyone who dared to question the narrative. Right on cue, Whoopi Goldberg echoed the party line on The View, laughing off the allegations like they were some wild conspiracy theory. But Bill Maher wasn't having it. He didn't tiptoe around her spin. He called her out, directly and unapologetically. No sugarcoating, no sidestepping. Maher took her excuses apart piece by piece, exposing the larger issue for what it is, not a pursuit of truth, but a coordinated campaign to protect power at all costs.
To bury the Hunter Biden.
You're talking about the press doing that?
He's saying that's what they did, and that is what they did. They buried the Hunter Biden story before the election because they were like, we can't risk having the election thrown to Trump. We'll tell them after the election.
And we know for a fact that that's what they did?
Of course. You don't
but
follow
I mean,
this.
saying you know for a fact that that's what they did. I don't know what they did.
I know, because you only watch MSNBC.
No, that's not true.
Maher couldn't have been more accurate. The women of The View, especially Whoopi Goldberg, aren't just woke. They're like a pack of ideological sharks, circling and ready to tear apart anyone who dares to disagree. Their debate isn't about fostering open dialogue or seeking the truth. It's about shutting down dissent, using sneers and sarcasm as their tools of enforcement. Whoopi.
Above any matters of politics or what's right or wrong, the one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls in the press and in politics and in life. And when they smell blood in the water, the lust to finish off a vulnerable person will never be denied.
In particular, has turned the dismissal of opposing views into an art form. To her, disagreement isn't an opportunity for healthy discourse. It's a mere inconvenience, something to be waved away with a roll of the eyes. But Bill Maher wasn't about to let that slide. He called them out directly, exposing the charade for what it truly is. Bullying dressed up as activism. And that's exactly why he's such a thorn in their side. Because while they preach inclusivity, Maher shines a light on their exclusionary tactics. For anyone tired of echo chambers, his takedowns are a refreshing break from the recycled talking points and one-sided narratives.
Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. But a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us.